All right, happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome on into the daily broadcast. Glad you're here hanging out with us in the Hat Creek Interior Studios. HatCreek.us, the website if you're outside the Loop beyond the 289. Easy to get to on their showroom, 10101 South Slide Road. Greatest in Western style furniture. You don't have to own a ranch to live like you do. Check out all the great stuff they have. Tell Corey Flanagan and his staff when you talk to him, we sent you. Tell them thanks for supporting what we do in Raiderland. All right, now, from the Hat Creek Interior Studios tonight, you'll engage with us on the United Supermarkets chat line. We got different things going on. A lot of Tech basketball this week. Lady Raiders tonight against Houston. I believe they're 31.5-point favorites in the open markets. Yeah, they better win this one. And if they do, they tie a mark that I never really thought about being a mark, but I guess it's a mark. And we can talk about that tonight and what this team is doing. Grant McCaslin giving them a shout out in his media availability today as they get ready for Utah this week. So we got Tech basketball. The topic du jour, and I will see how many of you agree or disagree. Major college football must break away from the NCAA in order to save the NCAA. If you want the NCAA to continue to exist, for those of you who do, I don't. It's too big to govern. It's too messy. It should be replaced. But if you really think the NCAA should still exist in some form or fashion, you can give me the reason and why. But I'm telling you, the best way to keep it alive is to get it out of the business of football. All of that tonight. Mike Tomlin resigning as head coach of the Steelers. If you're a Dallas Cowboys fan, would you hire him today? Would you tell Mini Shot, yeah, hey, thanks, we appreciate it. Would you hire him today? Never a losing season. Longest consecutive streak, 21 years. Tom Landry, Dallas Cowboys. 19, Mike Tomlin. Some guy named Belichick, and then Papa Bear, George Ellis, 16 straight years from 33 to 51. The monsters of the Midway. Would you go get Tomlin today if you're the Cowboys? Why or why not? All of those things tonight. Jump in on the United Supermarket chat line, whether you're on YouTube, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland, free. Hit like, hit subscribe. We appreciate that. We're trying to grow this over 700 subscribers for great people who love what we do here in West Texas and all the stuff we talk about. Food, sports, entertainment, you know what we do. On Twitter, X at Ryan Hyatt Media, and of course on our Facebook page. Don't cost nothing there either, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland. All right, 3, 2. Good evening, West Texans, all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt, TheRaiderland.com, brought to you by Live Life Well Clinic in Lubbock, Texas. Live your best life in 2026. Gut health, guys, we need it. It ain't so good these days. It's hard. All the stuff we're eating, it ain't so good for you. What if they had a plan that could help you get your belly feeling right and get you feeling right and living better? What about diabetes prevention? Yes, we want that first. What about reversal? Can it be done? Yes, it can. Dr. John Skelton, great Red Raider. He can help you follow the way at Live Life Well Clinic. Also brought to you by South Plains College. The road to Raiderland runs through Levelland. Coming out of Levelland, a lot of great Texans become Red Raiders. Find out what's right for you over there. Maybe it's your college-age kids. Maybe it's you continuing education. Either way, South Plains College, a huge asset to West Texas and the South Plains and the United States of America. All right, let's get it going. What do you think tonight? Where do you want to start? The discussion is up to you thanks to United Supermarkets. Break off college football from the NCAA. I've said it for years. Radio shows, otherwise here, shows here. Are you beginning to see why we say that? Or do you think it doesn't need to be broken away? Because I want to get rid of conferences when it comes to football. Like no SEC, no Big 10, no Big 12. I want to get rid of all that. But as you watch what's going on, are you coming around to that line of thinking yes or no? And when we talk about saving the NCAA, we're talking about, in essence, softball, track, golf, tennis. Are we talking about basketball? Are we talking about baseball? Are we talking about that? Yes or no? You tell me. And then whatever else, I don't know. I don't know what's got you fired up tonight. I do want to hear from you, though, on the United Supermarkets chat line. There's one supermarket, great supermarket in Lubbock, Texas, West Texas, and beyond in the great state of Texas. They support the Red Raiders and Texas Tech. They put their names on things at Texas Tech. There's another one that is interloped into the community. Interloped in. Glad to take your money. Take your money, send it down south, put it on stuff down there. You make your call. All right, so that's what we got going on tonight. Glad to hear from you. Looking forward to the conversations as we go through. We go back to the idea of breaking away from the NCAA. Major college football has to do it. The NCAA can't govern it. It's not governing it. It hasn't really governed it since the BCS got created in the late 90s, and it kept moving farther and farther away. And then the playoffs started, and then it was 4, and then we know where it is today. I don't have to go through that. Does the NCAA handle the day-to-day? Oh, you can't practice until here, and you got to do this and that, and we have these standards and everything. Yeah, that's about it. The problem with the NCAA, it's too big. It's got 300 some odd schools or whatever, member institutions, as they say, governed by the member institutions. It doesn't work anymore at the football level. It needs to get out of football. That you think of the vast resources that the NCAA still today spends and just waste on football to get sued and lose in court and all the other aspects that they just spend day to day on football. Imagine if they just spent that on basketball, making the basketball tournament even better. Or even if they just got rid of, I don't know, 70% of the workforce at the NCAA, and then the schools didn't have to spend so much freaking money on the NCAA and it went back to the schools. There's an idea that if you really wanted the so-called non-revenue sports like tennis and golf and track and things like that to flourish, imagine if you didn't have to send the NCAA all that money to be a part of an institution that really didn't do much for you anymore. To me, that's a huge reason why you ought to break away from the NCAA if you are a member institution and you play major college football. Instantaneously, everything would get better in the other sports. What's the best thing the NCAA does today? Anybody know? You tell me. What is it? Best thing the NCAA does today is the college basketball tournament. If they're not careful, they're going to lose that. If they're not careful, the NCAA could absolutely lose the college basketball tournament to the Power Four conferences who might just break away from football and say, well, if we can do that, why do we need the NCAA to run a basketball tournament? We got all these conferences. Well, but we wouldn't have fill in the blank, 16, 15 seed that might spring an upset and give it. I don't think anybody really cares. But if the NCAA, which are the member institutions, are smart and they want to keep that, then they would say, okay, yeah, let's let football go this other direction, and we'll hold on to this, and we'll make millions of dollars and distribute it to the member institutions, and we'll hold on to, funding some sports that people care about. So I would submit to you today, that's what has to happen. Football has to break away. It must break away. There is no other answer. It's got to break away from the NCAA if you want to save the NCAA. All right, for Dallas Cowboy fans, Mike Tomlin on the market. Reports say he doesn't intend to coach next year. Well, I guess he probably didn't intend to retire or resign. So why would he not coach next year? If you're the Cowboys, would you make a run at him right now? Now I know everybody loves mini shot. and that's cool. You got to take him. You got to stay with that. Why would you not? Now, does he work better with a veteran team? Seems like it. You know, seems like it. But he's 53 years old. He's not that old. Why would you not go with him? You tell me. And then Texas Tech basketball, we mentioned it. Men versus Utah. Just got to get a W this week on that one. Lady Raiders, here's the deal. If they win tonight, they will tie the longest regular season, single season winning streak of all time in school history. That the 1993 national championship team, after losing in January to Texas, they lost opening day at Stanford. Stanford dropped the national championship banner on them out there at Palo Alto. They would lose at Utah in was that December or November? I think it was December. And then they would lose in mid-January on a block charge call, Krista Kirkland-Gerlich. And there you go. That's it. The last time they lost. They would win 19 straight games. Now, this Lady Raider team has already set the record for consecutive wins to open a season. If they get this one tonight against Houston, big favorites, love beating Houston. I called some great games against Houston and the Lady Raiders down at Hofheinz. Oh, God, there was one night, I think it was Swoop's junior year, that she went like 19 of 22 at the free throw line. It was like early hack-a-shack. Houston wasn't going to let Swoops beat them, so he just fouled her every time, and she went like 19 of 22. Yeah, so if they get this one tonight, 19 straight single-season wins, that sets a school record. I don't know how good this team can be, but I know they're really good. So here's hoping they get it. The all-time streak over 2 years, by the way, 2 seasons, was 93 into 94. So 19 to close it out. And then you won 5 to start the season. By the way, that would include a win over Vanderbilt, preseason number 1 Vanderbilt, preseason number 4 Stanford. And then the streak comes to an end in Wichita, Kansas, at a tournament up there, a nondescript tournament that Tech's playing at Wichita, Kansas. And in the opening game of that, you play Minnesota, and they have a player named Carol Ann Shudlick, forward, like a 6-foot forward, go off for 36 points. And that's how the streak ended. Really weird. All right, let's see. Got a couple of comments coming in. Slow night on the comments. I don't know what the deal is on that, but that's fine. I'm going to go have some chili cheese dogs. Rolly needs a break. He's burned out. I'm thinking you're talking about Tomlin. Tomlin's 53. How can you be 53 and need a break? Come on now. Because yeah. Chris, if Tomlin goes to the Cowboys, talk about going from the penthouse to the outhouse in terms of functional organizations. Agreed. 3 head coaches since 1969, talking about the Steelers. And I only put that out there because I've got so many Cowboy fans out there, and, okay, you haven't done anything in decades. At least he won a playoff game in 2016. He's getting fired because they haven't won one since then. At least he won a Super Bowl. Just throwing it out there. We assume he'll coach again, right? That in the NFL of today, we assume Tomlin will coach it. Hall of Fame coach. And whether he was forced out or he agreed to it or he did the I'm going to resign deal, not retire, resign, which tells me he wants to coach again. You got to respect that. He didn't sit there and be petulant, make him fire him or anything else. JC Double T, your plan, of course, your plan is, of course, what needs to happen with major college football. Unfortunately, it is going that way with two conferences driving the train. NCAA can administer nonprofit schools, sports, non-rev. What you're talking about, yeah, but Big Ten and SEC is what you're talking about. They need more than that to make it viable from a network standpoint, from a content standpoint, and everything else. They need 62 to 72, 74 schools to make this work. They've got to have that number. That's the magic number to soothe the savage beast of the network partners you have now that need content on Saturdays and Thursdays and Maction and all that. They got to have that. So it just can't be two conferences. Won't work. You got to have more, which is fine by me. I think 64, I can get behind that. I wouldn't want Mike Tomlin as Cowboys head coach. I like the one they have. They just need a better defensive coach and some defensive players. All right, Michael. If only you had a guy like, I don't know, Mike, what was his name? Yeah, no. Yeah. Or a couple of years ago when you had a guy named Dan Quinn who was a great defensive coordinator and it didn't work. Tomlin may not coach again. I always thought Cowher would coach again, and he didn't. Good call there, Chris. Bill, how old was Bill Cowher? Somebody look this up. I can't do it while I'm on right now. I can't do it. Was Bill Cowher older or younger than Tomlin when he retired? I want to say he was older, but maybe not much. Hard to say, though, at 53 in this age and time that you would just retire. He's Frosty Mug, 31-23. I'm already digging like the handle there. Want to know more. As long as ESPN exists, the SEC will be gifted half to two-thirds of the playoff spots without having earned it on the field. $20 million per team for the ESPN SEC. Come on. Yeah. Well, we can change that, though. It can change. 100% it can change. It's changing. Joe jumps in. My man down in Alabama, SEC, Big 12, Big 10, Super Conference. 64, 62, 72 teams. Ryan jumps in. Cowher was 49 when he stepped down for the Steelers. All right, so you guys are probably a lot younger than I am, some of you. God dang, 49. You know, 49. Thanks, Joe. Talking about Tessa, my wife. She's battling the flus. She got the flu, and the flu ain't no good. And it's knocked her for a loop. But we're getting better. Like we're getting, say we. We're all right. We're hanging in there. Thanks, Joe. That's my cousin, Joe. All playoffs, says JCTT. Scheduling NIL 5 for 5 should be resolved with an NFL type model of major college football, but not let those two conferences develop it and invite others to buy it. No, it's got to be done. That's why I say you break away from the NCAA, eliminate conferences in football. There are no conferences anymore in football. If you want to play football, the conferences affiliations are dead. There is no SEC. You are in the Major College Football League of America. What is that? Major College Football League of America. The MCLOAF. The McFlaw? Yeah, that's not going to work. We're going to have to do something else. You have to destroy the idea of conferences and conference affiliations. You have to do that. It's the only way it works. He was 49. The chin, Bill Cowher, 49. We call it quits. Wow. All that does is make me feel really freaking old, by the way. Major college football has to break away, must break away from the NCAA to save the NCAA. Agree, disagree. Otherwise, Tech hoops on your mind. Tomlin resigns. Would you like him to coach the Cowboys? Baylor Ballpark now. Magnolia Field at Baylor Ballpark. Chip and Joanna Gaines. And let me say this right now. I love Chip and Joanna Gaines. I love Fixer Upper. I love what they've done for Waco. I've been to their Magnolia place and everything there. And I think they're amazing, wonderful people. I still think Chip played about as much baseball as a walk-on at Baylor as Sonny Dykes did baseball at Texas Tech in 1989. Yeah. You got shiplap dugouts and everything else. Good for them. Baylor, though, not going to be the laughing stock. But Magnolia Field at Baylor? Come on. I mean, I would have gone with like Shiplap Stadium, Shiplap Stadium or big something. Magnolia. When Baylor Ballpark was built, by the way, it started in 1990. Construction started in 98 or 99. Texas Tech went down there and played in 90. I want to say 99, and it was still under construction. I didn't go do the games that weekend, but Finkner did, Mark Finkner, and had to sit on a concrete dugout being built and do the games that way. The first series I called was in 01. That makes sense, yeah, 99-01 down there for Tech and Baylor in baseball. And it was great. The Baylor ballpark could have been one of the great ballparks in all college baseball. It was designed and built by the same architects who built the ballpark in Arlington. If you were in on any of the levels, interior, otherwise, media, and everything else, you could see the same structure, including the freaking windows that didn't open properly and had bars in front of you and everything else. That's beside the point. But Baylor Ballpark should have been in 2000 one of the greatest college baseball ballparks of all time. It got built like 5 years too soon. No luxury suites, no suite clubs, nothing. It was just a really great stadium built 5 years too early. Kind of hate to see that for him, said nobody. Joseph, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, and Baltimore should play musical chairs with their coaches. Yeah. Cincinnati going to be the only one who keeps their coach. Crazy. Chris, Lady Raiders just nailed a half-court shot to end the half. What's the score? My score monitor stat broadcast deal that I've got is not working at all. Let me see if I can get it going real quick again. It was not working. It's not going to get it. Nope. Let's try it. See if this will get it going again. It kept buffering and buffering and buffering. Statbroadcast.com. Usually really good. Usually pretty good. I think. Oh, there we go. Are we 40-30 at the half? Yeah. 3-pointer good. Bristow. All right. 6-0 run over the last 33 seconds by Texas Tech. 4 of their last 5 in Houston. No field goals last 250. 40-30 Texas Tech. By the way, Tech 31.5-point favorites. All right. Thank you for that update. And yeah, I did get it going. All right. It's working now. Steelers haven't been the model franchise either. They've been a model franchise, just not exactly winning championships, although they've won championships since, you did, Cowboys fans. JC Double T. Second try to point this out. I know what end result should look like. I don't want those two conferences playing the AFL NFL role. Yes, NCAA has zero to do with this, well above their competency level. I agree. I understand what you're saying about an AFL NFL type deal. And I thought that was where we were kind of heading, but more of an East West deal about 5 to 7 years ago. More of an East West or North South, that you would have an AFL NFL type setup, and that it could have been brokered effectively by the SEC encompassing Southeast on through the West, Upper Midwest, Big Ten going up. They get Washington, Oregon, we get USC down south. That it could have worked. What you're going to end up, though, with is some sort of East-West divisions, everything else that's going to play just the way the NFL does. And we love it, and it'll be great. And it will save college sports. It will freaking fund. That's why I just hate it for college and universities, that if they will embrace the NFL model for football, it will absolutely fund every sport you ever wanted to do, and more so. Oh, well, they're dumb. A lot of dumb people at universities, a lot of dumb people at colleges. Chris, the problem with the Steelers is they have yet to find the replacement for Big Ben. Yeah, I mean, they've walked around, without a quarterback now for not a decade quite, but yeah, they hadn't found that. Rodgers was a stopgap. And I'll say that Rodgers performed better than I thought he would, than I ever thought he would at this point in his career in a Steelers uniform. Still not as good if you go back and look at what actually happened there with Brett Favre, if we want to compare the two in Favre's last 2 years in the NFL, where Favre was, this close. I mean, literally this close, getting teams to Super Bowls. Had the Saints not cheated and cheap shotted, probably would have got it done. But yeah, Steelers, odd. And they've been, I think they are another one of those teams, sort of like the Cowboys, that they won't get so bad they can't draft good players, and they, aren't good enough to stay at this level. So they get trapped in the middle 8 of the NFL, which is hard to do. More Freeman from Notre Dame than Sig. How does it start is the question. First dominoes. Talking about breaking it out. You would have to have a group of 10 to 20 universities sit there and look at it and say, we can do this. And it would be hand in hand with the networks and say, if you do this, we will pay this amount. If you break away, we paid this amount. I mean, that's it. Bottom line. Oh, I don't know. I've got so many choices tonight. I got like chili cheese dogs. I've got pizza rolls that need to be eaten. I've got some leftover. My wife had a mahjong party the other day, and they had like 5,000 pounds of Panda Express and stuff that I could still knock out tonight. We have there's a crap ton of stuff in there that I need to do something with. Leaning the chili cheese dogs. This is really bad because I mean it's totally up to me and what I want. She's battling the flu, so I'm just trying to, stay out of there and leave her alone and make sure she's not dying. I don't know. We got a lot of choices. Arby's roast beef. America's roast beef. Yes, sir. Love me some Arby's. Had the debate with a friend of mine the other day. He was saying Arby's is a hamburger place, like a fast food hamburger place. I'm like, it's a sandwich. Just do sandwiches. Paxton, you're when you say Arby's, you're talking beef and cheddar, right? 100% beef and cheddar. You know that's what you're talking about, right? We're not talking about anything else. There, Arby's. Arby's sauce is basically a Heinz 57, virulent, a little thinner on that, on the Heinz 57. You can make your own Arby's at home. You got to get the good buns, onion buns, good roast beef, heat it up. Get the Rico's cheese, nacho cheese. That's pretty much what it is, and then go from there. Well, look at you, kinky sons of guns out there. Like the horsey sauce. That's good too. Or a mustard sauce on it. No, Arby's is great stuff. I don't eat Arby's near enough. I think I'm going with the, I don't know. I just can't decide. All right. Hey, you guys do a couple of things for me tonight. Go on our social media platforms, South Plains College, Live Life Well Clinic in Lubbock, Dr. John Skelton, Hat Creek Interiors, and of course, United Supermarkets. If 5 of you good people tonight, and it don't take 5 seconds, go on there and say, hey, thanks for supporting, right now it's Raiderland, something we enjoy, somebody that supports West Texas. Go on there and just tell them thanks. That's great. Be awesome. Truly, it would be. Doesn't take 5 seconds to go on there on our social media platform for our partners and just tell them thanks. And I'm going to say this, not just my show, but anything you like out there, if they've got sponsors that you can go to, please tell them thank you. In this day and age, wow, that sounded very serious. In this day and age, it means a lot. It goes back to the social media managers, advertisers, and everything else. So, if you can do that on the Facebook pages for Live Life Well Clinic in Lubbock, South Plains College, Hat Creek Interiors, Corey Flanagan, we're talking about you, and United Supermarkets, be awesome. Website. Well, our website's theraiderland.com, but their websites are on Facebook. Easy to find on our sponsors. Sausage balls with gravy and a pepper jack omelet. Good Lord, you're a freaking heathen in the midweek, and I love that. Sausage balls. Got like cheese in there, or just like draw sausage balls is what I would call them if you don't have cheese in there, with a gravy and a pepper jack omelet. Good Lord, look at that. Arby's curly fries are good too. Usually, although I have discovered the Arby's curly fries a lot of times a little bit on the soggy side. I don't know how fresh they are. Not saying they're like bad old, but just, they're so thick and everything. If you don't get them right, right out of that thing, but if you got enough Arby's sauce, you just slather in them things. And that's what the fries are good for, right? The fries clean up everything that's left over from the beef and cheddar. Whatever you got lying around, cheese and sauce and everything else, you're just using them fries to just kind of pick up everything, forklift it up, and go, all right, there we go. We're good. I may have to tell the story sometime about coming back from calling a high school football playoff game at Arby's in my truck, eating it on the way. If I'd been pulled over, I would have been arrested, and the driver, the DPS officer would have been like, "Sir, where's the body?" I had so much sauce. It's not good road food, is what I'm trying to say. All right, we're going to post this on the website, theraiderland.com, here in just a little bit. You guys are awesome. We'll see you in the morning. If we don't, it's because this week we have a lot of early morning obligations, family and otherwise, and we just may not have a morning column. I apologize for that. If we are there, we'll be there. Otherwise, I promise you we're going to be here on the website, and on live tomorrow, and then everywhere you can find us on Facebook and Twitter X. All right. See you tomorrow. TheRaiderland.com.